Hi, and welcome to Ted's Garage. On this episode, we're going to go through and do a little bit of a review on a new toy that I picked up a few months back, which is a Autel MS906BT scanner, BT for Bluetooth. It's been quite some time that I've wanted to get upgraded into what I consider a professional grade scanner, with the real threshold for me being bi-directional. Things sure have changed. I remember my first car out of college in 1986, 6000, and thought it was neat that if you could short two pins together, you could watch the Morse code flash on the dash via the check engine light, and the car might give you a hint as to what's wrong. So things have certainly evolved. The first scanner I picked up was a fairly simple one. I can't even tell you where I picked it up from, but I know it was an Actron model. I looked up, it cost me about $165, and it did the job I wanted at the time. What the job was to read the powertrain code, so things coming from the ECM would let you read them, and it would allow you to clear them, where a lot of your $30, $40 devices won't let you clear them. That worked for me for about 4 years, and then this car, my '05 Cadillac, had a ABS light that came on, and the simple scanner just reading the ECM couldn't do it. So at that point in time, I went and picked up this Innova 31703, and this is what I have used for 10 years now. It's a nice little compact unit. Comes with a variety of the adapters that you would want if you're going to go and service an OBD1 or some of the older stuff. But this scan tool, the reason I went and picked this one up, and I think this one back in 2012 I paid $367 out the door. But besides doing the powertrain or ECM, this one would also do ABS and SRS, so two additional systems that you could read, diagnose, and clear the codes on. So that's the tool that I've been using for 10 years now, but I've been missing out. There's many a times where I wanted to have bi-directional capability. I've got a couple of friends that own Tech 2, so every now and then when I needed something, I would borrow one of their Tech 2s and be able to do some additional things. But you know, those guys are each running their own service shops, and you know, neither of them are 2 to 3 miles away, so getting access to them and using them wasn't very good. Let me bring you in here and give you a walkthrough of everything you get with this Autel MS906BT for Bluetooth. So, comes packaged very nicely. This is the Android tablet, and it does have a little stand there that you can pop it out and get it going. We'll hit the power button here and have it wake up. One of the things that's really nice about it is the OBD interface is wireless Bluetooth, and it also has a little light on it, so when you're under the dash trying to figure out which way does that port align, how do I get lined up, you can just press that button and be able to get things set up. Other accessories, naturally all your power charging cables. Being a tablet, it's a USB connection. And then up here, much like the simpler Innova, all the various interfaces that you could look at for various specific cars or older systems, etc. Let's see, we have Honda, Kia, Nissan, Daewoo, BMW, Chrysler, VW, Audi. Well, one of those is on my list of a car I'd like to have. So that's really what you get with the system. I've had this for about 3 months now. Like I said, I wanted to pick up a bi-directional scan tool. In general, I have been really happy. There's some features that I really like. But then there's a couple of things it's supposed to do for a rather expensive scan tool. I expect it to do them, but they just don't do them. So rather disappointing there, and we'll talk about those. Let me put you back up on the stand here. Okay, so I'm going to get the VCI adapter plugged in, wake up the car with the touch button start. We're not going to start it, but get it turned on, and then we'll put the scan tool up on the tool chest and walk through a few things. Okay, so I turned off a light here. It looks like I think we can see this pretty well. Let me go wake that back up. Slide it over to unlock. Okay, let's go in, tell it diagnostics. We're doing a GM. And I'm going to put here Ed STS. Let's see if I turn this a little bit, does that help? We're going to have the scan tool automatically identify the platform. Tell it to read the VIN. Alright, so that's the car we're dealing with. It read it correctly. Okay, so one of the things I really like is this pre-scan feature. So I'm going to click on pre-scan here. It's asking me to fill in some stuff, so again we're going to put in Ed, last name we'll put in Smith, license plate, let's put in Cold, Illinois, which it is. I forget what the temperature was when we woke up today. It's nice and sunny. Odometer, I'm at about 177,000 miles. We're just broke in. And the scan tool, so let's let it go. So it's going through and it's going to read every system that it can talk to. So ECM's coming up first. Right now I have no check engine light, no SRS, no ABS, so I'm expecting this to come up fairly clean, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's one or two old history codes and some of the obscure. Yep, we have a fault on engine cooling. We'll have to look at that. This will be a little experience for me to go see what those 3 faults are. I also wonder if communications might be a little bit slow since I'm behind the car and not a little bit closer. Right now we're showing that we're at 74%. Okay, it looks like it finished. I think there were about 30 systems it went through. I'm saying no to attaching photos, but now if I want to pull up a report, it creates a nice PDF that I typically go and email to myself. So you can go through each one of the systems. It's going to show you what status it came back with, and then it's going to go through and give you a description what's going on. So I had a airflow issue That is a current DTC, so something I'm going to have to look at. But this is nice that you can get a simple snapshot on everything that's there, and then you can go and just email this, click that icon, click share, and with that you can go click email, do whatever to send it to yourself, friend, customer, whatever that is. So I thought that was fairly nice. I wanted to show you. And now let's go in and go into some of the features. So being bi-directional was one of the reasons that being bi-directional is one of the things that I was going for here. So let's check out hot functions. So various things that you can do with it. Emergency parking brake to do your service. TPMS is one of the issues I had, as well as the immobilizer keys. I'll talk to you a little bit about that later. Let's go back to diagnostics and look into each control unit. And let's go and figure out body rear end, if that is where the load leveling compressor is going to be. Special function, remote control door lock receiver. Nope, that's not what we're looking for. So automatic transmission, go to the next one. Electronic suspension control, active test. Okay. And this doesn't have the compressor on it, but we're near. Okay, so I couldn't find it. With this car being an 05, it may be that the test wasn't supported there to turn on the compressor. But one of the things that I had to do on my 2008 Denali, that was the last straw why I decided to pick this up, was when I replaced a crankshaft position sensor. I had to do a relearn, and I didn't have the capability without having a bi-directional scanner. So you can see right there, I can go and trigger that crankshaft position relearn. So certainly have that capability. I wanted to, let's go back to hot functions. So that is the good stuff. Like I said, very happy. I picked this up when I bought it. When I picked this up, I went to Autel's website. Naturally, I wanted to make sure I picked it up as cost effectively as possible, but I didn't want to take any shortcuts and buy it from a place where I wouldn't have the warranty that I was expecting to have. So what I did is I went to Autel's website, saw the scanner that I wanted, and then I made sure I was viewing from their website what were the authorized places to buy it. There is a place on Amazon called the Autel Store, but at least according to Autel's website, that's not one of the approved places. So I didn't want to go spending a fair amount of money and have something that I couldn't get support, etc. So believe it or not, one of the places that comes up on that, I'm going to grab some notes here. One of the places that they sell it, and the most cost effective, was Walmart.com. So that's where I picked it up from. I spent $13.67, but when I went and looked up today, it appears they have this on special right now. Today is January 30th, or is it the 29th? 29th. They have it on special right now for $1,100, so that's substantial savings. The three other places, they list about 7 places, but 3 other prices I have. Advanced Auto is quoting $1,900, O'Reilly is $1,789, and Napa is $1,700. So, in general, I'm very happy with the scan tool, but the scan tool comes with 1 year of free software updates. Now, when you're spending, I spent almost $1,400. You could be up to $1,900. that's not a small investment, and you expect features to work. About 2-3 weeks ago, I took this down to my son and daughter-in-law's house. My daughter-in-law drives a 2015 Buick Encore, and she's down to one key fob. So for Christmas, I went and picked her up another key fob, had the blade cut, and went down there on a Sunday morning. My son and I were out in the garage having a coffee, and I thought, okay, let's go program this. So we plug in the scanner, go into the special functions, MO keys, program key fob, and I had her existing key fob, the brand new key fob, and a transponder chip key only, no key fob, that I was going to go reprogram. So on the Tech 2, I'd say delete everything, and we'll go through and do the lock, unlock button and program each one of these. Now, I'll insert from the web page that these are supported functions. I'll insert that here. But even though these are supported functions, when I went to do it, of course I said erase the existing key fobs, we'll reprogram, click go, then the scan tool went and said communicating, and it just locked up. I mean, like a Windows machine, I had to go reboot it and get it back up. We tried various different entries, even tried just adding, the 4th slot was open for her key fob, tried adding just a 4th slot. Whatever we did, it wouldn't work. This was a Sunday morning, so we couldn't program that key fob. Came home that Monday, I got on the phone with Autel, very helpful. Of course, it's business hours, so it wouldn't help me on a Sunday morning. But they went through, and basically what the young woman said to me was, well, we really don't support the MO features on our scan tools. That, you have to go buy the specific MO device in order to be programming key fobs, keys, etc. Like, well, it's a function that's on the scan tool. If it's on the scan tool and you pay a large amount of money to get the update, this is a 1-year free software, but the next year it's going to cost me $300 to stay current. So I'm expecting to have all the current features for the GM product set that's loaded in here, and it just doesn't work. So I said, okay, well, now I got you on the phone, let me ask you another question. One of the features I'd like to see this do is when I plug it in and read the ECM, I would think it could show me live data and be able to tell me what the ECM thinks the mileage on the vehicle is if I'm going out looking at a used vehicle, versus if somebody did a mileage correction on the dash. So she felt that that should be there. Maybe it was Pilot Air that, me being new to the device, it wasn't there. So one of the features that's really nice, since this is an Android computing device, you have a remote help screen that you can go into, click remote help, comes up with a 9-digit code. I read that off to her. Next thing you knew, she was in and connected to my Wi-Fi. She's in, controlling and scanning all the various menus of the scan tool while it's connected to my Yukon. So never found it. She thought, well, it should be there, so let me open a trouble ticket with engineering. Called back 30 minutes later, said engineering wants a picture of my dash, the software version of the scan tool, etc., because it should be there. So I sent all that in, and I think that was about 15 days ago, and I haven't heard anything back. I sent one follow-up email just asking if there was an update, and no reply. So, I guess I'd give it 3.5 to 4 stars. The stuff that it does do, it does well. I'm glad that I have a bi-directional scan tool now, but paying $1,400 to $1,900, if the software menu says that it programs key fobs and I'm on a car that's supported and in a current subscription, I kind of expect that to work. So I don't know if maybe their higher end ones do it. You know, if you go and spend $5,000 for a truly high end one, but on this one that I picked up, I've had trouble with a couple of features. So that's what I've got. If you're in the market for a scan tool, I hope this helps you out. So if it was good, you liked it, you know, please click like, subscribe. The next video that's coming up is putting the engine oil temperature gauge in that 2008 Yukon XL Denali. I've got the gauge all set up, it's loaded, sensors put in. I'm just waiting for a few more miles on my oil change interval. Since I use Mobile One, I don't want to throw away a good Mobile One, but that'll be up in the next 2 weeks. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.